Fire Radio, and you're listening to Yes, Massive Wagwan, Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother there, reaching out to all the massive on the African continent, and you're tuning into the Pan-African Show with your host, none other than Joby, from Monday to Friday. Stay tuned. Andrew Robinson, love, respect, and justice for all. Big up, massive.
Nobody could do it, so I don't too much. And it's about passion, shallow more. A book, a photo, a biting dog. It's city, happiness, everything else. Man, like no stress, fine but no hands. Happiness, everything else. Man, like no stress. Over you, I can't see me alakodo. Ohun tó ṣe ní kọ́ ló ṣe ní ọ̀. Ẹjọ́ ló mọ̀ tó ṣe àlọ́kẹ́ jọ Jésù. Yẹ́pà nínú aṣọ́gbọ̀dọ̀. Ọ̀gá ní kí fún mi kọ sábì. Like a scooby, as you can see, àbí sórí ìsìn. Ó tutù over you, I can't see me alakodo. Ohun tó ṣe ní kọ́ ló ṣe ní ọ̀. Ẹjọ́ ló mọ̀ tó ṣe àlọ́kẹ́ jọ Jésù. Yẹ́pà aṣọ́gbọ̀dọ̀. Ọ̀gá ní kí fún mi kọ sábì. Like a scooby, as you can see, àbí sórí ìsìn. But your birthstone, you know earth tone. I listen to you, baby, you come home. You want me to make it happen, baby, I know. Want me to keep you happy, baby, I know. Get house, I know. I'm the one, I'm a piano. You want me to make it happen, baby, I know. I'm here to make you smile and feel love. Happiness, everything else. Man, like no stress, fine but no hands. Happiness. Your life no stress. Over you, I can't see me alakodo. Ohun tó ṣe ní kọ́ ló ṣe ní ọ̀. Ẹjẹ́ ló mọ̀ tó ṣe.
Anobi novice.
Yẹ́pà.
Ashamodeo.
Ọ̀gá ní kò fọ́n mú Kasabi. Like a scooby.
Yes, karibuni sana family.
Happy zombie.
Hope you guys are doing amazing. Big up to Ever. Shout out to Ellie. Shout out to you on TikTok. Karibuni sana to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. This is the media of the 21st century. Yes, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Good afternoon, grand rising to everyone who's live with us on YouTube, on the Twitter space, on our YouTube, on our TikTok page, on Rumble, on the show page, on our website, on the radio station. Karibuni sana to yet another beautiful discussion where we shall be discussing, of course, what is happening in our beautiful African continent. And of course, karibuni sana. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday so far, whether you are at work, at home. If this is the first time, kindly, I'd love to urge you to subscribe on whatever stream you are listening and watching me from, and ensure you also have our application, which is very easy to find, and that is on the Google Play Store, the Black Hot Fire Network radio station. In case you're using under any Apple device, it's also very easy. Just use our website link, that is the www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. 34 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm late, super late today, but better late than never. And of course, today we shall be discussing about Africa literally outsourcing the security to those who actually are all about exploiting the mineral resources. Regarding that, I'll be sharing a video, and regarding that also I'll be sharing another video which was talking about, I was to share yesterday, but it was talking about how Africa for so long we keep on taking our resources to other countries. Why haven't we built our own refinery or our own companies for us to process our own resources? So shout out to Burkina Faso. We know that's one of the countries that is taking no nonsense, and they did declare a war to anyone who's trying to come and mess with the development they're trying to bring to the country and to the life of the people. Burkina Faso has been able to nationalize two mining sites, and that was after a long dispute that has been going on there between two companies, and they cleared away the debt, and they ended up actually taking fully control of their mineral resources where they were being mined. So this is super amazing. Unlike other African countries, we see that they are outside, where they are, of course, discussing or are about to discuss. Of course, the discussion started yesterday about how Africa is supposed to develop. But again, something I questioned, and I'm going to keep on questioning. How many summits have you had? African leaders, how many summits have you attended? And how so far have these summits helped you? Because you say you don't want to be summoned, but you go back to the same place, showing us the same old traits of weak presentation. But that's basically what we shall be talking about. And along other conversation, we shall be discussing where there is an engineer who has actually been sentenced to jail for 15 years. And this is after him faking a CV that landed him the job that he has. And this reminded me actually how many skilled people we have in Africa, and yet they lack job opportunities, and yet we have nepotism playing a very big role in our society, and which has actually ended up us having very poor public services. I keep on talking about that, especially in the government offices. This is quite a norm. Public servants do not actually give the best services that they're supposed to give. But we have someone super skilled, very passionate, very talented, but once way in because they got the skills, you end up actually in prison. It reminded me of the lawyer in Kenya who actually had won so many cases. He has not studied being a lawyer. He has not attended any class of law, but he has won so many cases. And the question, and him of course going to the court, he won the case. He won the case literally himself. He stood for himself, presented himself, and he won the case. So this shows literally how Africa again has so many untapped potentials, and those who actually try to tap into them, they end up being sentenced to jail. We shall discuss also about the updates of the the Kenya-based athlete who was, of course, yesterday lit on fire by the boyfriend, and apparently she has been confirmed. And of course, updates of the China-Africa Summit, the Nigerian frustrations for facing, of course, fuel shortages, despite this country being very being super blessed with the oil. I'll be sharing a video coming from the Dangote and also what they have been doing. We saw Tinubu recently being, of course, exposed for owning a whole refinery oil company elsewhere, while people in the country are suffering this much. And along that, we shall also discuss where families in DRC Congo are demanding for justice. And this is after, of course, several people who were shot during the jailbreak, which I said personally, I support the shooting. I'm not backing away from that. Because if you've not served the years you're supposed to be serving in prison for you being a criminal, not for trying to seek a job opportunity, then why are you outside? But anyway, karibuni sana. Those are our top discussion for the day. Shout out to Byron Scott. Hope you're doing amazing. Of course, I started an amazing jam that was Asake featuring Ghana and I think Saz, if I'm not wrong. And the name of the jam is Happiness. And this is Wizkid with Anoti. Hope you guys get to enjoy this. We're coming back with the quote of the day as we get straight to the conversation.
I want to do anything I want tonight. Make you do anything we want. See, I go take. I go take. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I go take. I go take. Till I go take. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I go take. She done take. Oh yeah, she like it fast slowly. Sometimes she dey confuse me. He never leave her lonely. He never leave her lonely. And I don't know where she see me. She like to do me too. She said she don't want no for me. So I give her what you need. Turn up your body, make you feel alright. Flying the
Yes, so my quote of today says maturity is realizing that happiness is a choice. You really have to be very mindful and shift your perspective regularly, because life will always always present reasons for you to be unhappy. Waiting for perfect circumstances to allow yourself to be happy is robbing yourself the present joy today. So actually, try your level best to seek happiness. Try your level best to protect yourself. Be mindful of literally anything that is coming at you, thrown at you, anything that is going to destroy your happiness. Guard that by all means. As much as life, like I love the way the quote said, literally, life will always present reasons for you to be unhappy. So try shift the narrative, manze. Try shift the energy, and try enjoy your day. Yes, Karibuni Sana, 41 minutes past the top of the hour. And of course, Karibuni Sana to yet another beautiful conversation of the Pan-African Bliss Show. A quick shout out once again to everyone live with us on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, on the Rumble page, on the show page, on our Spotify page, on the website, on the radio station, on the TV. Man, we're everywhere. Karibuni Sana. I hope you guys are having a wonderful fifth day of September so far. And of course, the fourth day of the week. We almost get into the weekend. Of course, let me know how are you feeling. And even the ninth month of the year, I've been asking this question throughout the week. You've been a listener of the Black Out Fire Network radio station. Let us know, what would you love to see different in terms of our program? What would you love to see new? Because we've returned literally the movie nights this Friday. Remember, if you do not have our application, this is the right chance. Kindly download our app, because the movie nights, you won't see them right here on YouTube. We shall be on the network on our show page. So rush to the Google Play Store, download our app, and also ensure you check out our Blackout Fire Network store. It has amazing products over there. We have beauty supplements, hair products, we have vitamins and beverages, amazing things. So ensure you have our application. So let us know, you've been a listener here or you've been here for the first time. What would you love to see different? But you've been there for the first time, what you should do is subscribe and ask less questions and listen. But those who have been here for the longest, let us know, what would you love to see different from the Blackout Fire Network? Maybe Kenya, Uganda, or maybe on Kids, and that is in Florida. Let us know, what would you love to see different in terms of our programs, our shows, and everything. Okay, but anyway, karibuni sana. As we get started, of course, the updates I'm gonna start with is this sad update. Sorry to start with that, but I feel so bad for this lady, and this of course is gonna lead me to the DRC Congo situation, because that is the same discussion I was having yesterday. So yesterday I gave you guys an update of the Olympic athlete. Her name is Rebecca Cheptegei, and she has actually been confirmed dead after being set to light, a light that is by her ex-boyfriend. And they're saying that the Olympic athlete Rebecca Cheptegei has died days after after being dosed in petrol and set on fire by a former boyfriend. The 33-year-old Ugandan marathon runner who competed in the recent Paris Olympics has suffered extensive burns after Sunday attack, and the authorities in the northern west of Kenya where Cheptegei lived and trained, said that she was targeted by returning home from church with her two daughters. And a report filed by a local administrator alleged that the athlete and her ex-partner had been wrangling over a piece of land. Police say an investigation is under the way. And this is what I was saying. You guys, if you can remember, yesterday I say I don't know what really happens with the Olympic players, like the athletes, not the Olympic, but the athletes, to be specific, in the 254 or in Africa at large. Because just because one situation is being reported right here does not mean other African countries are not facing it as much as we don't see it. But I've seen, to be specific, in Uganda and Kenya, they've been facing these issues. The athletes, to be specific, and I said I'm not sure what they get themselves into. Do they get involved with the government businesses, or what is it that really happens? Because majority of these people end up dying very mysterious deaths, either due to land, and I spoke about where majority of these people also come from wealth, in terms of land, in terms of cattle and herds, literally herds in general. It is a lot, so they are blessed. Okay, we talk about blessings, the Kalenjins, a lot of people literally from some parts of Kenya really have it. And if you try look at this category right here, I'm just trying to understand what really leads to majority of these deaths, but we can see what, of course, transpired, or what led to the death and the banning of this young lady right here. Because she's still young, 33 years, still very, very young, and she has 2 kids. So the question is, who's gonna take care of the children? Because this is just a boyfriend, not even a husband or the baby daddy. It's just super, super crazy. But this is what I say, leading to the situation that happened in DRC Congo yesterday. I can see the families of the family of those who are trying to break out of jail. They are demanding for justice. And me personally, yesterday I say that these people should be rotting in prison. I don't see how someone has committed such a murder, killing, burning, to the point where the bans were so extensive to not be handled. You should not get a chance for you to walk out of prison. You should be rotting in prison. And this kind of people, group of people, should not be actually pardoned by any president, because that's what they do. Like I said yesterday, our leaders have failed to do true development, to create infrastructures in our country. They have failed to create job opportunities. They have failed literally to do what they are demanded to during their own term. And when they leave, what the best thing they could do is release 5,000 prisoners. That is what Uhuru did. And I love using that as an example. Not just Uhuru, we also had I think that was in DRC Congo too. When Felix Tshisekedi was literally vying for this second presidential term, he ended up releasing a couple of few prisoners in the DRC Congo. And I believe probably this is what is leading to all this, maybe, because I just remembered that. What if among the people who are released, they really had really serious crimes, but people who had slight crimes are the ones left behind? It is crazy. But what is happening right now in DRC Congo, trying to combine both the stories about the jailbreaking and how the jail terms should be working. Because personally, I said yesterday, the reason why I admire America despite its brutality is because the laws are very strict. And this is why Africans majority end up in prison there, because you go F around and then you find out. Okay? You go F around thinking this is Africa, where the police just are going to be ignorant about you. You're going to smack someone, then that's it. You're going to rape a child, and that's it. You're going to beat a woman and not end up in prison. Such kind of things. It is crazy. But the same family of those killed in what authorities called an attempted jailbreak in Congo's biggest prison are demanding answers from the government as activists denounce what they say are inhumane conditions in the nation's overcrowded penitentiaries. I think the cells, that's what they mean. And the officials have said that 128 people have died, including some who were shot by the guards and soldiers, and others died in a stampede trying to escape the Makala Central Prison in the capital, that is in the capital of Kinshasa, early on Monday. And Justice Minister Constant Mutaba called the attempted jailbreak a premeditated act of sabotage and promised a stern response. Group and the opposition called for an independent investigation, accusing the government of using excessive force and covering up the true death toll. One prominent activist said that more than 200 were killed. Personally, I don't care, being honest. That is just me as Joby. As brutal as it sounds, I don't care how many people died, whether the numbers are being hidden or not. Like the minister of that guy, whatever he said, the minister, whatever the minister said, that's a premeditated act of sabotage. And if I find you, if you try to escape, I'm going to kill you. Okay? That's just me. That's Joby's opinion. You are allowed to give your own opinion. That is how I'd love my country to work. Strict laws. You are a rapist and you tried to escape. You're going to serve it. You're going to literally face the consequences. You'll face the serious consequences. So personally, I just don't care. That's just me being honest. Being honest. I don't care. I really do not care. Unless maybe among the people who died, there was an innocent man sent to jail for no reason, because that also happens in majority of the cases. Also women being the majority favored in the community and society, and not really in so many cases. But when it comes to the side of the law, women are a little bit favored. It's very rare for you to hear actually women being arrested, but men, the numbers are really high. So I'm not saying that among the people who are trying to escape, probably there's innocent people who did not deserve to be where they were kept. And understanding the type of prisons we have and how poorly maintained they are in Africa, I'd also want to run away, being honest. Where people are shitting, peeing everyone, no cleaning, no maintenance. Nah, I'd also want to escape. But at this point, strict laws have to be brought to the African prisons. But we have among the ones who are shot is a mother who's mourning, of course, the loss of her son, a 25-year-old. And she says that he was arrested 2 months ago in the western part of Kinshasa and transferred to Makal on a provisional arrest warrant. His mother, Mandele Mbalaka, told the Associated Press without trial or conviction. And she also says, I visited my son, that was on Sunday, and he was fine. But around 6 a.m., his roommates called us telling that he was dead. So it's crazy. I do believe the people who demand or deserve justice amongst these family members, again, let's go back to the files, all right? That's how I'd handle my case. Let's go back to the files. Why was this person arrested? Is there any evidence to prove whatever they were accused of? If they were a thief, if they were a rapist, if they were whatever they did, is there any evidence? Can we go through the files and see what did this person actually do? Then from there, we can actually start now doing serious investigations by saying, number one, my son was innocent, didn't deserve to be here, and actually the law or the authorities were on the wrong side, and that should give you reparation. But we're talking about Africans. Where have you seen Africans being compensated for anything? Never. But that is how I'd love things to work. As for me, among the 200, if they're claiming the number is not 129, it's 200. Let's go back to the files. Very simple. Very simple. Go back to the files. See the case of these people. Who are innocent? Who are not? Do we have evidence supporting their case? Do we have witnesses? And then from there, we can take over. Let me know what are your thoughts regarding that. But of course, you've heard it. The family of those who escaped the jail are literally demanding justice, But as for me, I'll insist. I don't care unless they go through the files. That's the only way these families can get justice. But as we get to move on to the next conversation, it's about the engineer, talking about skills in Africa. And you guys, if you can remember, I don't think I'm not sure how many of you do remember this, but there was a lawyer in Kenya who was arrested, and that was because he was acting like a lawyer, not done law, nothing, but he has literally everything that takes him to being a lawyer, including where he was, of course, arrested, taken to court. He presented himself to court. It's called, I can't remember his name. Brian Mwenda. Yeah. Brian Mwenda, shout out to him. He presented himself to court and won the case. And this actually left so many people saying, that is potential over there. We have so many crooked lawyers who cannot even do anything, and yet they're there. Maybe because your father was a lawyer and you are forced to do law. It's not even your passion. Your passion probably is dancing, but you do it because you have no option. You want to please, of course, your parents too. You want to act like you have this job, it's paying well, but you are a crooked lawyer, if I'm using the right term. So we have this guy from South Africa, and they're saying that the man who had been chief engineer at South Africa's state-owned passenger rail company has been arrested to 15 years in prison for faking his qualification. And my question is, how many officials in the government do we have that have fake qualifications? Leave alone even an engineer. Leave alone even a lawyer, okay? How many governors, senators, MPs do we have, even presidents, And they have not even finished the system of education. Majority of them are dropouts, picked from a village somewhere because they needed exposure and were told, I'm going to give you everything, just do what I ask you to do. Isn't that what they did with Mobutu Sese Seko? That is what they did. Went to the village where people didn't recognize this village, barely talked about. Picked a whole Negro somewhere who has no exposure of life, and they tell you, I'm going to give you all the gold. Don't worry whether it's coming from your country or not. I'm going to give you all the wealth you've never seen. Just do what I want. That's what they did with Jomo Kenyatta. It's illiterate people we have literally serving us as leaders and in so many positions. So it's so sad to see that just an engineer who has faked his qualification and has the skills and passion for what he does is going to spend 15 years of his life in prison. They're saying that once hailed for his successful career, Daniel was the head of engineering at the Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa for 5 years, earning an annual salary of 2.8 million rand, that is $156,000. Some good money. Some good money. On his CV, the 49-year-old claimed that to have several mechanical engineering qualifications, including a degree from South Africa respected Witwatersrand, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Witwatersrand University, as well as the doctorate from a German university. However, the court in Johannesburg had that he had only completed his high school education. And they're saying that the sentence sends a strong message that the perpetrators of white-collar crime will not go unpunished. This is just so crazy. And it's in South Africa. So I'm not surprised, number one. I'm not really surprised why this guy's skills will not even be you've been working in a company for 5 years, delivering what is expected. You know, you are on time, you're doing everything expected. You have the skills to run this company to the point where he is the head. This is just so crazy. He is the head of this agency for 5 years. This is the time you get to literally go through my papers and you're like, we've been dealing with a fraud. Why won't you foresee that and look at the skills, the value I've added in the company and all that? And basically and literally, this is what happens in Africa even today. We have so many skilled people, but they won't get these job opportunities because you do not have the qualification papers. Just a paper. And this always there's a time, I keep on saying this every single time, and I'll keep on saying it until people go back to, if it will ever go back to making sense to anyone. We had teachers because they were passionate, because they loved children, they could take care of children, They were not tribal. Teachers were not being given the role of being a teacher because so you can come ask me, you are John Kamau, so you are a Kikuyu, huh? This is why Kikuyus are like this and this, because that's what we've grown up in the system of school. Teachers criticizing you because of where you come from due to the tribe. But if I go back, what I was saying on the culture show the other day, we used to have people in the careers that they had. If it's a doctor, a teacher, because you have passion for what you do. A teacher, you're going to be understanding to the students. You're not going to be caning them, because that's a system that the white man also brought. You're going to be teaching them to understand, not yelling and all that. A doctor, you're going to give the best service to a patient because they need your attention, okay? They need your care, they need your love, as much as they have the people surrounding them with all that. You, the doctor, this patient being in your hands, you're supposed to take care of them, make them feel like they're not really out of home, despite them being in the hospital, make them feel they're taken care of. But the services we have in our hospitals, my God, they're shitty. The nurses are gossiping, taking tea, while someone is on labor pain. We saw this during the demonstration. Someone died. They had a bullet, literally, and that the hospitals refused to open the doors. And someone has a live bullet. And this guy died. That was Rex, actually, if I can remember. Rex died where they refused to open the hospital. Why are you a doctor if you don't literally just have the passion to do what you're supposed to do, which is save people, help people who need your help? Why are you a doctor? It is crazy, man. It is so crazy, but sadly, this is what we're dealing with today. And until we claim our positions, literally, we can't keep on going with this bullshit of having papers. Personally, I'm so grateful being where I am. I'm not required to have papers. My passion has gotten me to this particular point. Understanding literally, my passion has gotten me to this point. Nothing else. My passion has driven me to this level. And that is what I used to see long time ago. It is you having a passion of something that drove you to the career that you wanted to do. Things have really, really shifted. But shout out to that guy. I don't know what to say. What I can say is that this is the majority of what African people are going through. That is what I'd say. That's what I know. So if this can happen, we should actually go back to the drawing board and also call on the officials like Sakaja, Joho, and so many who are in these positions and don't have papers. And yet when we still get the papers, okay, it's crazy how the skills are not going to be considered. You go get the papers, right? But still, you don't fit in these positions. You get a degree, you're told it's not enough. Okay, you have a certificate from Form 4. You're told, go get a degree. You get a degree, it's not enough. Get a PhD, it's not enough. Get masters, it's still not enough. How far do you need to go? Become a thief? Or do what? It is insane. It is insane. But as we shift from that, that is what is happening in South Africa. And I wish I can understand if the guy is coming from South Africa but I bet, yeah, if he was a Zimbabwean or anything else, it would. But anyway, that is what is happening in majority of the African countries. So this week, as we get to continue, we know that we had the China-Africa Summit, and which of course started yesterday. And I want us to share this.
The China-Africa Summit commenced on Wednesday, with President Xi Jinping and his wife hosting a banquet.
Look at Ruto. Ruto, the puppet of the world right now. Ruto is the image of the Africa biggest puppet. Like, he's the first, I don't want to say he's the first president to have greeted, but I mean, look at him. Ruto's image is just everywhere, like the best puppet to ever be. That is what it's giving, as for me.
To welcome the attending leaders. Over the course of the 3-day summit, leaders from around 50 African countries will discuss future cooperation in areas such as agriculture, security, and industrialization. On Wednesday, President Xi held bilateral meetings with leaders from South Africa, Djibouti, Cameroon, and others. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres attended the summit as a special guest. China, having been Africa's largest trading partner and investor for years, has strengthened its ties with African nations to counter US and European influence in the global south.
Look at Tinubu. Look at Tinubu's ass.
Under the theme, joining hands to advance.
Stop smiling. This is a big shame. I'm so ashamed. Oh my God. I'm gonna rewind this video again. Oh my God. Have you seen Tinubu's smile? Maybe you guys cannot see. Let me broaden my screen. Tinubu is all smiley. All smiley. Oh my God.
The China-Africa Summit commenced on Wednesday, with President Xi Jinping and his wife hosting a banquet to welcome the attending leaders. Over the course of the three-day summit, leaders from around 50 African countries will discuss future cooperation in areas such as agriculture, security, and industrialization. On Wednesday, President Xi held bilateral meetings with
They're all smiling. They're all tits out.
the leaders from South Africa, Djibouti, Cameroon, and others. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres attended the summit as a special guest. China, having been Africa's largest trading partner and investor for years, has strengthened its ties with African nations to counter US and European influence in the global south. Under the theme, Joining Hands to Advance Modernization and Build a High-Level China-Africa Community with a Shared Future, the summit aims to deepen friendships and outline future cooperation.
See, Senegalese president has betrayed us, Diomaye Faye.
FOCAC Summit's opening ceremony is scheduled for Thursday, where President Xi will deliver a keynote speech.
This is so sad, but of course the whole thing commenced yesterday, and of course you've had their targets or expectations: strengthen the relationship, deepen the relationship, partnership, cooperation, everything they say. Shout out to you, John Muruthi. I hope you're doing amazing. Mr. Black Hot Fire, I see you. And everyone on these other platforms, on YouTube, on Twitter, on the radio, on BitChute, on Rumble, on the show page, on the TV. Hope you guys are doing amazing. This is just so sad. This is so sad. But sadly, again, like I said, the topic I had this week, this is the week presentation of Africa. Because, make me understand this. So right now, as we continue, so we have Tinubu, the Nigerian president. Currently, as we talk, we have the Nigerian president, we have the Kenyan president, right? In Kenya, the teachers are on strike because of poor payment. Okay? In Nigeria, people are also about to strike because of the subsidization of oil that is not making sense in a country full of oil. And this is the bullshit. This is the bullshit. Let me share this video very quickly. This is just the bullshit. Deepening, strengthening, nothing ever changes. Same old stories. But this is where we're stuck.
What you're finding is that though you have voted for different economic leaders and different principles, on the main, the economic consolidation remains as was in 1884 Berlin Conference. The result is that Africa, including South Africa, continues to export much of its minerals out of the coast. South Africa exports its platinum, its gold, its diamonds, its iron ore to the West, to Europe, to Asia, and possibly to the Americas, where possible, to the southern part. We continue to be price takers and do not set the price even of our own commodities.
Yeah. We never, ever. Because tell me, why are Nigerians frustrated? Because they're saying right now, more frustration for Nigerians as they face a dual crisis of chronic fuel shortages and huge increase in petrol prices. Despite being one of the world's top oil producers, Nigeria relies on petroleum products imported by the state-run oil company. Imported. We continue. Karibu sana kid. This is just so crazy.
Oh, you see? Yeah, you see that. The same thing since 1884 when you got conquered. That all your shit got taken over. You still don't control none of the shit no more, and you're still poor. So all these dumbass summits don't mean shit. These puppets are actually, like we were telling on Shemaiah's show today, they are a hindrance to any real growth and development in Africa. They are a hindrance to that. Go ahead, Joe.
This is just so crazy, man.
Like OPEC countries who control oil. The outcome is that black people remain excluded outside of the real economy, with some paltry attempts to include a very few elite beneficiaries. What you're finding is that though you have voted for different economic leaders and different principles,
Will not
on the
change.
main, the economic consolidation remains as was in
same.
1884. in many
Exactly.
countries. The result
Because it's
is
not
that Africa,
exactly not meant to
including
be any
South
different.
Africa, continues to export much of its minerals out of the coast. South Africa exports its platinum, its
For the
gold, its
benefit of
diamonds,
white
its
people.
iron ore to the west, to Europe, to Asia, and possibly to the Americas, where possible, to the southern part. We continue to be price takers and do not set the price even of our own commodities, like OPEC countries who control oil. The outcome is that
Literally, we've never, and this is the, we have people like this one. Let me see if I can find that other video. We have people like Dangote, we have people like Tinibu who have oil refinery companies and have created shitty job opportunities to African people to make them think, he's the billionaire, he cares about us. He cares about nothing, because these people are all and full of their masters. Their stomach is literally literally, if they don't do what is expected, they go back as shitty as you. They go back to the poverty that you live in. Dangote, Tinibu, Buhari, all these, even the past presidents and the MPs, the senators, the governors, all of them,
Yep.
if anything is
Because if they
taken away
have
from them,
actually
they,
govern anything, Joby, why don't you control the prices of your own minerals? If you govern any goddamn thing.
it's crazy, man. So let me share this very quickly as we continue.
Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote's colossal 20 billion US dollar oil refinery was supposed to be a game changer for Nigeria. But the project has become entangled in a fierce, high-stakes dispute involving the NNPC, short for the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, and international oil companies, over allegations Dangote is trying to monopolize the market for refined products. For decades, Nigeria has been in an absurd position where it pumps oil, sells it abroad, then re-imports it more expensively in refined products. Enter the largest single-train refinery in the world, first conceived a decade ago and completed last year after delays and cost overruns. The plant was supposed to win Nigeria off its dependence on imported refined petroleum products. Producing 650,000 barrels of petroleum a day at full capacity, the refinery is, according to its website, built to meet 100% of the Nigerian domestic demand of all refined products, save scarce foreign exchange, and also have a surplus of each of these products for export. That would make it the largest refinery in Africa, producing a variety of products including gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and polypropylene. However, little is going according to plan. You see, the sheer size of the Dangote refinery threatens not just Nigeria's refined products importers, but European refinery owners and oil industry. You see, Nigeria currently imports refined products from refineries in the EU, but with the new refinery, that is going to stop.
I thought building a refinery like this is, supposed to be a pride for everybody. Because we're not the only country. Angola, they've been trying for 20 years. They are still trying. Uganda, they've been trying for the last 15 years. None of them. There is no production.
Not trying. There's no trying that they have been trying. It's you.
Like
You talk
50 years,
about it. You
50
execute.
years, 30 years, 20, y'all, that's so crazy shit. You don't do it because your white man told you not to do it and he'll put a bullet in your head. Okay? Let's keep real. Everybody else got what? Why did Saudi Arabia get to build what? They didn't have no technology. The white man built it for them because they didn't want them to be completely on the bottom like you niggas. Okay? Why did all these countries in Arabia now got them? They didn't have them. Arabia was poor as fuck because the white man built them for it and let them have their own oil. You niggas, no. You belong to me, nigga. You're supposed to be poor. I want your shit. Your shit belongs to me. That's why. And you haven't got the courage, like an Ibrahim, and say, I'm going to build my own shit. I'm going to build it now. And if it means war, fuck it, then it's war. You ain't done that. Nigeria's rich in oil. Why do the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers own your fucking oil? Because you're bitch-ass niggas. That's why. You haven't said no. You're not gonna own my shit. And if it's war, it's war then. You haven't done that. So that's why you're poor. Okay? That's, until you done that,
Exactly.
hey,
Because it's not like Dangote cannot make this happen. He can. He has the money that they claim he has. He can.
yeah,
He can actually, execute the
they
project.
don't.
So why?
He got the project is up, remember? But the white man stopping them from getting that oil because that
Exactly.
cuts their money. He said that cuts their money. Yeah. These niggas ain't
As
supposed
in
to have.
Africa, only two countries are not importing, which is, Algeria and Libya. Apart
Of
from this,
course, Algeria and
everybody is in
Libya
Africa.
were
We
Arabs.
cannot
I told you they let the Arabs do it because they don't want them completely on the bottom like you niggas. So they allow them to do it. All the Arab countries got it.
continue to be
Yep.
slaves.
Once at full capacity, the Dangote refinery could append what has been a highly lucrative Europe to Africa fuel trade and transform the country's fortunes. Some say it will put European plants out of business.
Of course.
Some
Yeah.
of Europe's largest refineries like Shell and Total Energies are owned by international oil companies,
Of course.
which have for
Internet, they're owned
decades
by the
had a strong
Rockefellers. They're owned by the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. So they put them out of, it's about their money. Exactly right. So you'll cut them being parasites off of African resources. That's what you should have been did. With a backbone, your shit is supposed to benefit you. Not the white man like the lady told you from 1884. That's how the Europeans got rich. Off your back. As parasites. So you standing up and saying no more, it might cause war. And oh well, fuck it. Because my grandchildren are not going to be poor. So white people's grandkids can be rich. That's what you need to understand. Either you do it or you don't. You know, no, that's why you're poor. Go ahead.
in Nigeria's oil industry. Problems began to surface when the Dangote refinery, which started operations in January of 2023, struggled to acquire enough feedstock of Nigerian crude. The
They wouldn't give
first
them no
shipment
crude.
of 1 million barrels sent in by Shell International Trading and Shipping Company last December was to be
Joby
followed
already did the
rapidly
thing,
by
man. They took it down. Joby already told you who owns Shell. Okay? Who owns Shell? We all know who owns that shit.
Rockefellers and the Rothschilds.
Yeah, we know who owns that shit.
support
So,
daily refining of
you know,
350,000 barrels a day in the first phase of production. Those supplies commitments were not honored, adding to its operational challenges. To date, the refinery has been unable to meet its production capacity due to
of course, Shell
insufficient
said we're not
domestic
sending them,
supplies.
we're not giving the oil to his ass. It all belongs to us and white people. We're gonna be wealthy off you dumb niggas. You're too weak. You're too stupid. So go pray to the white Jesus. We're not gonna give you. We're not gonna give you your own oil.
Literally an ocean away, like the United States and Brazil. The standoff coincides with a planned withdrawal from Nigeria by the majority of international oil companies, including Total Energies, ExxonMobil, and Eni. All three companies are currently in the process of selling onshore and shallow water Nigerian players, though most have faced delays, opposition, and even court challenges. The irony is that, despite vandalism, sabotage, and low investments deterring production, Nigeria is still the largest oil producer in Africa. Yet it has not been able to supply the new refinery with crude as expected.
Nigeria's a bro. They're the biggest producer in Africa, bigger than Libya and Algeria. But
when Dangote's refinery accused international oil companies of obstructing its access to locally produced crude, and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority of facilitating importation of lower quality fuels. The refinery argued that such practices undermine its operations and the quality of its products. Despite billions of dollars of investment over the years, Nigeria owns 4 underperforming and frequently broken down refineries with a combined capacity of 445,000 barrels daily. Those refineries, 2 in the oil hub of Port Harcourt, 1 in Wari in the Niger Delta, and the other in the northern city of Kaduna are all operating at less than 50% capacity. That means that petroleum for everyday use must be imported, a scenario which has spawned extremely wealthy fuel importers and diesel traders who benefit from an entrenched system that has contributed to millions languishing in poverty and bled the giant of Africa for decades. So clearly, there's going to be a whole class of local and foreign interests who don't want the new refinery to succeed. Total
Exactly.
Energies, which announced a supply deal with
See,
Dangote
because
at the Africa
if
City of
Africa succeeds, they're poor, guys. Without Africa, without them parasiting and benefiting from Africa, and Africa standing up on its own 2 feet, they're poor.
Yep.
So they're going to try to sabotage everything. Yeah, Africans build or do because they want that money for them, not for you. So to get power, you must kick out all white people. Sorry. I kick out white people, Asian, I kick them all out.
May shipped only 1 cargo of aminam crude to the refinery in April and has not delivered to the refinery since. Another reason for this is that Nigeria has tied up much of its future oil production in oil-backed loans and other swap deals, leaving little or nothing for local refiners, including Dangote. Last year, Nigeria spent about 12 trillion naira or $8 billion on petroleum products imports, or 33% of total imports for the country. So, it came as a shock when this man,
You're importing oil from a company that has oil. You can't make this any more backwards. That the white man has came in and made you a moron so bad that you're paying $8 billion for oil to import the oil that you make there. You can't even make this up. And that's why they say you niggas are supposed to be conquered again, taken over again, so they don't even want to go through. They don't want to share their spoils with you. They don't want to share their criminality with you. They're like, fuck it, we want it all again. Get rid of these dumb niggas. Go ahead,
This is why we can't agree with that these Zambian fools who are saying, we need to go 50-50 with them. Nah, they've never gone 50-50 with us. They're selfish with our resources.
Why would I be going 50-50 with somebody that's my shit?
Crazy.
And
I'm going 50-50 with you now.
Authority announced to the nation that fuel imports would continue uninterrupted despite Dangote's refinery coming online because the government would not allow a monopoly in the sector. He alleged that diesel from Dangote's refineries is inferior compared with overseas imports. Further fanning the flames, Nigerian lawmakers launched an investigation into these allegations. A newly formed committee is now tasked with probing claims of fuel contamination, the operations of regulatory bodies,
Can you imagine?
and the overall state.
You're going against your own company in your own country because now the white man saying your stuff is inferior and you must get your shit from me. Well, what you would do is say, no, white man, we're not going to pay you your shit. Fuck you. We're going to build it and make ours work right because we know you're sabotaging it. Because it's cheaper for us to do our own oil that's ours. Why we send it to you and you ship it back, costs us $8 billion, when we got it here already, we just refine it here. What? It don't make no sense to send it to you. But the country is so corrupt, so backward, so fucked up. Now you pay these couple of these dumb puppet politicians, because they're puppets, to destroy their own industries. And that white people industries be the beneficiary of it. Because they gave me a couple of dollars, And they go, only black men are this stupid. They don't understand not to destroy your country for some shekels, for a few dollars, few shillings. Only black people do this shit. Completely destroy your own industries. Because I want a house with a library and some wine.
This situation took a dramatic turn when Dangote invited lawmakers to inspect his refinery, And tests conducted there revealed that the sulfur content in the refinery's diesel was 87.6 parts per million, significantly lower than that of other locally available fuels, which means it's of a much higher quality
So
than
it was
anything
better.
in the market.
See, that was better than the Europeans. So it was actually better, because of course it would be, because you would have to transport it to get any goddamn bad quality, because it's there in the country. So the fuel refined there was going to be better quality than the shit up in Europe. That would be just common sense. But I wouldn't need nobody to investigate that. The white man said it's wrong, it's bad, let me investigate it. Shut my own shit down. Question is, why you listen to white people anyway? Why aren't you an adult got control of your own industry? Like the lady was saying, it's 1884 in Africa. You don't control shit. And you don't run shit but your funky, stinking ass mouth. Go clean your mouth first out, nigga, before you talk. Shit is crazy. Don't control none of your resources. That's why you're poor. But you won't tell your people that your resources are rich. You won't tell your people that you mismanage your resources, that your resources, why you're the richest continent on the planet. Your people don't know how much shit even worth. Because they're too busy reading John chapter 8. John chapter 8, thou shalt not steal. And they're stealing all my shit. Yeah. How much is this gold right there? Nigga, that's worth $2.
Yes. Yeah, they're both internally, externally, even within, yes. And I can tell you, I'm 100% sure, they might even have people inside us.
The billionaire may have ignited the wrath of regulators when he made allegations that some NNPC officials and other interests were running a blending scheme in Malta, where they were illegally importing substandard petrol products into the country. Trademark's latest figures indicate that Nigeria's petroleum imports from Malta surged significantly to 2.8 billion in 2023.
Is the Tinubu has own vested interest.
Who owns that? Tinubu owns that.
Has a nephew, Wale Tinubu, who owns an oil company called Owando. Now, Owando has never at any point been a particularly major player, in the West African or the African oil space. But as soon as Bola Tinubu became president, Owando's share price has gone up to the moon. Owando has somehow taken over AGIP, the local operations of the international oil company known as AGIP, and has overnight basically become Nigeria's largest oil company.
NNPC bosses have denied any linkages
the thing about the African moron again. He's corrupt and fucked up. Okay? African men are fucked up in the head. So Tinubu is fucked up in the head. He's corrupt, and so that oil company is by him. And so you can easily trace the money back to this moron. So him being corrupt and fucked up, like most African men are. He's corrupt and fucked up at his own people's expense. Doesn't care. Are they starved and shit? They out there protesting. He's saying, be calm, be cool. Hey, we found you fucking us up with this oil. I know, I'm an African man. I don't know how to really do business. Not being corrupt and fucked up. Because everything I learned from the white man, and I must do what the white man do. I don't know how to be legitimate business and not be corrupt, not be fucked up. I don't know how to do that. So, you caught me. So what? I'm the president, nigga. So what?
Dots seem to be connecting. The regulator argues that the facility, if it exists, does not affect NNPC's business operations and strategic actions. What is telling, though, is that Nigeria's problems with the quality of imported fuel are not new. 2 years ago, the downstream market was grounded for almost 2 weeks after the NNPC, which manages the importation and distribution of fuel, said it had found methanol at levels far higher than allowed. Nothing has been heard of the subsequent investigation ever since. For Dangote, whose business empire was allowed...
Pause it. What you see here, family, and you gotta go and take things back to the root. Nigeria should be made rich in Saudi Arabia, way richer than them, any motherfucking Arab country, 10 times richer. Not just oil. Nigeria has every fucking thing, minerals, but this is because Africans have been kept ignorant. This is the level of ignorance in Nigeria that when colonialism came in, it created an ignorant class. Whole country's ignorant, but all of Africa's ignorant. This is what happens when you've been kept in so much ignorance and poverty on purpose, and you try to come out of it. You don't really know how to do business. You're caught in ignorance, and so everything becomes corrupt. And so, from Nigeria's inception as a country, it's been a corrupt, ignorant place. That's why it never developed. Why it's not wealthy like it's supposed. That's why it doesn't look like fucking Dubai. 10 times wealthier than Dubai. Well, that's why it doesn't look like Saudi Arabia. 20 times fucking wealthier than Saudi Arabia. Because of the ignorance, guys. The ignorance in Africa caused all this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Joe.
The people, if they were, like I've said, we've been taught the value of our, not the value, we've been taught we have resources, but not the value. And this is why when you talk about even extraction of like gold, cobalt, Africans will get $2 out of literally something that's going to make a million out of it, because there's lack of information about what you really have in your hand, what you really have in your land. There's no such information. But as we get closer to Wendy Lab, let me finish up this video. Shout to HR, the messenger. Shout out to everyone who's joining through YouTube, Twitter, and the rest of the platforms. That is Rumble, BitChute on the radio, on the TV, on the website, and Spreaker and Spotify.
To flourish under previous administrations. In return for him investing billions of dollars, the dispute is a shock. To his critics, he's a man who's manipulated the government. He's a monopolist who's rigged the system so that he doesn't have to compete fairly. This impasse would have been unthinkable only a few years ago.
Pause. He's not a monopolist so much that he is one. Mm-hmm. His grandfather happened to be there when they were changing over everything with the British. So they were there because the monopoly were the British. So they was there at the fake transover, whatever you call it, ship. They I'm having a brain fart. When they supposedly gave fake power back to Nigeria, the British. They never did. So Dangote's family was a part of that. So he's always been tied in with the government. That's how they made their money. The idea that he was some kind of poor person, made him rich, all that fake shit, that's bullshit. That's made up nonsense. I mean, at the transition of monopoly, they were there because all African systems were created as monopolies for Europeans. They're all monopolistic systems. In 1884, that's what the white man drew up. I want this, I want all of it. I want this part of Africa, I want all of it. I want this part of Africa, I want all of it. So all of Africa has been run as a monopoly system since the white man got it. To say that Cody's different, his family was involved in that transfer of power. So of course he's monopolistic. That's how Africa's ran, as a monopoly. So that, to say that he's any different is crazy because the country was stolen as monopolies.
As a company, true. Let me finish up.
Former President Muhammadu Buhari, with whom Dangote enjoyed warm relations. A few months ago, agents of Nigeria's independent anti-corruption watchdog, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, raided the Dangote Group's Lagos office, ostensibly as part of an investigation into alleged mismanagement of foreign exchange allocations.
You know why they raided it? Because the white man told them to raid it because he's fucking with their money. This ain't no anti-corruption shit in Nigeria, the most corrupt country on the continent. What are you talking about? The white man said raid it and find something wrong in it and then bring this nigga down. Now he can fuck around in that concrete because it's not pushed against my goddamn money. This nigga's now fucking with my money. He has to understand his place. Niggas are on the bottom. I'll let you dibble dabble in certain businesses, but when you come fucking with the big boys' money, which is oil and gas and the shit I control, that means I control all of Africa. Now you fucking around. And now I'm gonna send my fake corruption board to come after your nigga ass to let you know, nigga, I control this. Go ahead, Joe.
Checking on you.
Just days before newly elected President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in, Dangote inaugurated the vast oil refinery to great fanfare. Unexpectedly missing from the attending dignitaries, which included President Buhari and other heads of state, was newly elected President
No,
Tinubu.
they was missing because the white man who put him in power said, hey niggas, I don't like this. I don't like this shit one bit. It was a joke when he said he was going to do it, but now it's operational. I don't like it. I want the shit to end and end quietly. You bring his ass down behind the scenes. You got that, niggas? Yes, white daddy. Yes, white daddy. We'll do it, white daddy. That's what the fuck is going on. Power. Go ahead, Joe.
According to multiple sources, could be that Tinubu and his allies felt that Dangote was not sufficiently supportive during last year's bruising presidential elections. Worth more than $12 billion Dangote has enjoyed cozy relations with Nigerian leaders. They considered him a champion of domestic industry as the country's largest employer outside the federal government and one of the country's highest taxpayers. However, in Nigeria, it is not unusual for old favorites to suddenly face pressure after a change in the political landscape. Dangote was thought to be different. As this standoff ensues, the country has once again been plunged into shortages, with long fuel queues returning to major cities. Nigeria's 4 public refineries are simply too inefficient to provide any relief. At full capacity, which was previously expected by the end of the year, the Dangote refinery was expected to produce 103 million liters, almost twice Nigeria's current daily consumption from the country's crude, solving the historic problem of fuel shortages and product adulteration. But this lofty dream could be sacrificed to the ongoing self-destructive infighting, underscoring the sway of neo-colonial capitalist overtures and vested interests.
This is not about no infighting. It's about what you just said there. Your goofy nigga reporting that you're a puppet too. It's about the neo-colonial powers. Ain't about no infighting with these dumb niggas. They're all puppets. They're told, bankrupt this nigga, and you do it now. It's about neo-colonial power. The cracker is not happy. The cracker said, you better get rid of this nigga and you better get rid of his ass now. Ain't about no infighting. These niggas are getting their marching orders because the black man is a weak-ass puppet. Except for Ibram Toure. But most Africans are weak-ass puppets. That's what's happening. Neo-colonialism. Power. White man says, motherfucker, you better bankrupt this nigga. You better do it now. Go ahead, Joey.
Over common sense and the common good.
Exactly. Common sense and common good. Give this shit to Dangote right now. And then let him teach the technology to somebody else so it'll be even cheaper. You're not going to do that because you're fucking with the white man's pockets. See, because their refineries are not getting that oil and selling it back to you at these crazy numbers, $8-10 billion a year. See, you cutting them out their $8-10 billion cut because they're not supposed to get it no way. That's supposed to go to a Nigerian refinery, cutting out the white man. Why do I need the white man? It's my oil. I refine my own shit. Why am I sending Joby my goddamn fucking potatoes to fucking cook my own shit? And then sell them back to me. And sell me back my own fries. Yeah, all right, Keith. How much you want for the fries? I said, Joby, those are my potatoes. Yeah, but I cooked them.
What I'd say about Nigeria is we have people who understand what is happening. There's a time, again, I love going back to that video because YouTube took down my show after doing that, where we had the so-called pirates. Because any people have understood right now, any even the people of the country are trying to protect the people who are stealing the resources, and they know they're going to be labeled gangsters, like in Haiti, pirates, terrorists.
Exactly.
So in Nigeria, they're called pirates, and we saw them explaining, because I watched it even off after that, and I shared the Niger Delta one. Like, these people understand who they understand the political class and how they are helping the Western powers to gain from all this. And that's why they're trying to protect their territories. Number one, understanding that their lives are affected, because remember on the video I was sharing about the Niger Delta, they were showing literally the way they do it so ruthlessly. These people don't care about the environmental.
Environment.
They're the same people about climate change bullshit here, and you're the same people.
Exactly. It's a lot. Exactly, Joby. The climate change is some bullshit. They know they don't give a fuck. These are black people living there. Fuck them. I want the money, and I don't give a fuck how these niggas live. They dirty. They spoil. They die and get cancer. So what? Fuck off. Exactly, Joby. Then they come back with you with that fake global warming bullshit and the environmental. They don't give a fuck about the environment. They want, as long as you buy some shit from them that supposedly fix the environment, that's what they care about it. Buy shit from us. Keep making us rich.
So yeah, it's crazy, and this is what it increases, of course, the diseases we have in African countries. All this so-called, we saw the other video which was talking about Africa has epidemics or pandemics, whatever that lady said. And I'm like, this is all caused by you fuckers who have failed to think about it, you know. We never, you know, people were not getting water contamination if it's not me drinking dirty water. Our water was very, very healthy. We never, we knew how.
Because you never had slums. You never had slums, but you didn't have water sitting there and that shit. You didn't have slums before the white man. It's funny because now we're dealing with a psychopathic system. We got systems created by psychopaths. Psychopaths rule the world, and their systems are psychopathic. That's why you got slums in Africa, and you got stagnant water and shit. You got cholera and all this other crazy shit. Which in Africa you never have, because you ran on an African system based on Ubuntu, which is love, equality, and harmony with nature. So you didn't have diseases. You didn't have stagnant water. You didn't have fucked up environments. Because you weren't trying to steal from each other and rob each other and exploit every goddamn thing. Because you lived in balance and harmony with nature, because that is your nature. Now you got run by psychopaths. Everything's all upside down, inside out. They tell you we promote environmental shit, where they steal all your oil and leave it all fucked up. People can't bathe. The water's poison. Talking stupid shit to you.
It is insane, but I do, like I said, I believe there's some part of the people, the level of ignorance, of course, is very high, but we have a group of people who have understood what is going on. They're trying to fight, but they're, of course, they're being stopped by the Shell, the Total, of course, people. They have funded also their own gangs and the pirates to stop these other real pirates. You know, the people are fighting for the country to literally stop all this project of, you know, all this exploitation of the oil. But as we wind up, the last video I'm sharing, because that guy did speak about Libya, and Libya, actually, they're buying petrol or oil cheaper, 6 times cheaper than water. You know, it is just super crazy, while other countries who have plenty of oil are actually talking about subsidization every single time. That is, you know, Tinibu, because I was trying to refer to the China-Africa summit that is currently ongoing. This is the same bullshit they're talking about, that they have been doing for years. Nothing about where we're fully taking control about our resources. We are fully taking power. We no longer want to be summoned. We no longer come into these meetings by meaning it.
Exactly.
Nothing. But
in this country, 1 liter of petrol is 0.15, which is equivalent to this much. So it's very cheap. To fill up the whole car,
0.02 cents dollars.
Imagine, but imagine, Joby, when Gaddafi ruled, it was free. It didn't even cost that because he used
Exactly.
that old money
Costs
that
about $2.
the old money that he generated outside the country. He said, "Hell, we're getting money outside the country, so we're gonna sell it to our people. Why? No, we're gonna do it for free. All is free in our country. Since we're an oil giant, like Nigeria should be, it's free here. But in Africa, of course, shit don't ever work right. Because that shit don't not supposed to work right. It's all colonial nonsense. So you're gonna pay for your oil that comes out of your own ground while it's actually fucking up your own ground. God damn.
Less
Yeah, less than $2.
$2.
Yeah, less than $2.
So as you can see, it's filling up. He's putting almost 50 liters, and it's only just hit $1. Very, very cheap. Now I'm gonna go to the shop. I'm gonna show you how much a bottle of water costs. A liter of water. Here's the shop. Same petrol station, and they should have water inside. Assalamu alaikum. Let's have a look. Here we go. Here's the big liters of water. This should cost 1 dinar. So remember, a liter of petrol is 0.15. This will cost 1 dinar. One. Amazing. Thank you so much. You can see 1 dinar. So this bottle of water, which is just over a liter.
Yeah, so it's crazy, man. It is so insane. In Africa, even water itself, you'll have to buy, man. Bend your coochie over, like for you to get water. That is what they have made it.
God damn.
If you're not doing
Shit.
that, you're not getting a jug of water. You go shit and do whatever you can, like toilet.
Well, goddamn, you keep that. You keep your coochie. I don't know what's banned. Just give me the money for water.
They don't care. We've seen at the presentation we've done of even the tea farm.
I know. You showed me all that. I was like, ah, man, goddamn, this shit's
How
nasty.
many people
God
in
damn.
that tea farm? Do you know how many women have gotten HIV there because of being bent over by one person who's claiming to be a manager, and because he's being paid by the British system,
It's the savagery. They're getting paid on land that was supposed to be yours that they stolen. That you're a low-paid employee bending your butt cheeks over on some land that you too scared to take back with power. And now you run around with AIDS and shit. How's that working for you? Because you're too cowardly. You're too cowardly. You're not gonna sit on my land talking about you fucking got a tea farm in this bitch. My ancestors didn't sell you a goddamn thing. So the idea that you got land in Kenya and I'm spending my butt cheeks over, no. I'm going to burn this bitch down to the ground.
But anyway, as we wrap it up, shout out to John Mosquito. Greetings to you too. Hope you're doing amazing today. And
not only did I build my butt cheeks over, now I'm full of AIDS too. Oh man! And I ain't running around here burning shit down yet. I better get at it. I'm late. I'm late. Where's the firewood at? Crazy as hell.
Now we're wrapping it up here, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope for those who shall be catching this on a replay, you give your thoughts on all the conversations we've had, from the young lady who has died, of course, being burnt by the husband. What do you think about that guy? He should rot in prison, as for me, because confirming with what happened in DRC, yes, that was on Monday.
He is a billion. Hold on, Joe. We do this for me. He is $1 billion a year business. Joe, look up real quick. What do those women make on those tea farms?
They make less money, kid. I did a whole documentary. They don't even, they don't make no money, literally. They are begging to be paid, number one. Not only are you begging for a job, but you're begging for your money.
Yeah, because in Africa, the white man knows you don't even have to pay. He'll pay you sometimes they're not paid, that kind of shit. And ain't nobody in Africa to help you because the governments are so corrupt in the hands of these white people.
These people trust me, even make more than $5. Trust me, they're not even making
$5 a month or $5 a week. Which one is $5 when?
It could be a day, a week, a month. I'm certain it's literally very, very less. If you're working a day, it's less than, of course, $5. Less than probably $2. Even that could be more. Maybe
Maybe like $2.
Yeah.
Maybe $1. a dollar or two.
I've seen what farmers go through, and hey, yo, the wages are not really
So
that to
I
majority.
know. Well, I know the wages suck. I know the wages not there. I know that, Joe. I'm saying I don't know what it was. I'm saying because that tea is $1 billion business. Tea farms in Kenya, I think, are the #1 tea farms in the world. That's
No.
billions of dollars going to white people again who stole that land. But my grandmother's working there making $1 a day. And you won't rise up and take your shit back. You deserve to get smacked in your motherfucking mouth.
But anyway, we're wrapping it up right
No,
here with the
no
conversation of-
goddamn way. You gonna rape my grandmama in no motherfucking tea farm. Think I'm coming to see you. Today. You won't survive me. Don't, you know, I made a mistake in Jesus. You gonna meet Jesus, nigga. You gonna meet him today. And so before I go right now, I told you guys, because we're not gonna do it tomorrow, I told you guys, motherfucker, Chicago is not Denver. Chicago's not Denver. You fucking around with niggas. Not these cowardly motherfuckers like Zoass over in Denver. You fucking with the real niggas in Chicago. Shout out to Big Cheese. Big Cheese knows what's going on right now. You Venezuelans, you're getting your head blown out your back. You're getting your brains blown out the back of your head. Yeah, it ain't on the news. I know what's happening. You tried to take over some apartments. You tried to take over some apartments in Chicago, and them niggas told you. Them niggas told you. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hickory dickory dock. You're about to get this clock. And so now you Venezuelans been getting your head, your brains blown out the back of your head. You're fucking around with the niggas. That's all. You don't fuck around in L.A. New York, you bring that shit to New York, you gonna die too. You're in Chicago, niggas. You in there with some real street niggas. I knew they were gonna kill you. You get the police didn't want to show up. They showed up to save you, Venezuelan motherfuckers. The niggas are dragging you through the streets. They told you don't fuck around up here. The niggas told you don't fuck around here in Chicago. We're gonna kill you. And you're being dragged through the streets with your whole head gone. Yeah, motherfucker, this ain't Colorado. With these other goofy niggas want to date white women, date white people, that Zoe shit. Nah, you fucking around in Chicago, nigga. Like I say, don't go to my hometown of LA either. You go to LA, they gonna kill you. They gonna kill you.
As we wind up, we'll do that maybe next week. Yeah, because tomorrow is gonna be movie night. I saw that. I'm gonna share some videos with you and on the WhatsApp page about that Chicago story. I saw that yesterday, and yep, it's crazy. I saw they took over some apartments, and it's crazy. It is crazy.
They ain't got no apartments no more, Joby. Them apartments have already been unasked. Them Venezuela unasked them motherfuckers because the brother said, "What? We told you don't fuck around." He said, "Hey, all you Venezuelans that are not, there's got to be some African goodness. So fuck that, kill all of them." He said, "All you Venezuelans not harming, we're not gonna kill you. But if we get you fucking around with the ones that are, we're gonna kill you too." So, see, the Africans always gotta let some people live. Fuck that shit.
As we wrap up, Marty and family, see you guys later on the Black Kings frequency.
Now Joby want to ask me, why y'all got all those guns? That's why we got all these guns, Joby. That's why. Because sometimes, Joby, you got to put in some work.